Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urios Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or a comment. All right, it's time for another installment of the Dr. Spell Prognosis. And today we are talking about the spell Moonbeam. I know I spelled this with two words on the thumbnail and in the title, but that's okay. I think it is one word. It is what it is. All right. So, I'm giving this spell a B. It is usable by Druids, Twilight Domain, Clerics, Oath of Ancients Paladin, and Oath of Watchers Paladin. It is one of these kind of utility, minor damage, I don't want you to step in this square or stay there kind of spell. So it is kind of control-y, and that's why I kind of dump it a little bit in the utility. I know it has spell tags of damage and control. So it is a second level spell, takes one action, has a range of 120 feet, which is awesome. It does affect a 5-foot radius. Radius, that's really important. So that means it's 10 feet wide. Verbal, somatic, and material components, and it does last for a minute, and it does require concentration. So one of the things we always talk about with concentration spells is, do you want to continue to concentrate on this? So it's a con save, which isn't great. It is an evocation school, but wizards aren't going to be able to get this, or it's going to be very hard for them to get it, so that really doesn't mean anything. And it does radiant damage, which is an important damage type, because there are certain creatures that take more damage from radiant than others. So, a silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. So you could cast this up in the air and on something flying, which is very important too. Centered on a point within range until the spell ends. And it's dim light in the area. So, when they enter it for the first time, or when they start their turn there, so you can push somebody into this. And you could do that multiple times. When it enters the spell for the first time on a turn. So that means you can do this multiple times, because it says turn. So that means every turn. It doesn't say its turn. It says a turn. Or it starts its turn there. So again, you're punishing it for starting its turn there. So it's getting engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain. So it's the radiation from the radiant damage coming down. They have to make a Constitution save. A lot of creatures have very high constitutions and Constitution saving throws, so sometimes that's not great. They take 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. If it's a shape changer, it's got disadvantage, so that's like, werewolves and things like that. If it fails, it automatically reverts to its original form, and can't assume the form until it leaves the spell. And on each of your turns, after you cast the spell, you can use an action to move it up to 60 feet in any direction. So, basically, if you cast this spell, you've got a choice. You can either leave it where it is and cast other spells that don't require concentration, or you can start using your action to move it around. I would say if you are going to start using your action to move this thing around, I would upcast it to get it to do a little bit more damage than 2d10. 2d10 damage is on average about 11 damage if they fail their save. It's 5 if they make their save. And you can upcast this. It does a d10 extra damage for every slot above second level. So if you use this at third level, it does, instead of 11, it does like 16.5 damage, which is, that's not bad. That's pretty good. So, especially if it's going to happen on every turn. If you've got somebody in your group that can move things around, meaning they can move opponents into the Moonbeam, or they can keep them in a Moonbeam, that is great. This also works very well with spells like Entangle, because the Druid does get some spells that will restrain. So if you can restrain something and then cast Moonbeam on them, that is also great. Unfortunately, a lot of those spells do require concentration. But pushing them or pulling them into the Moonbeam If you know, I would ask your party members who's got the ability to move things around. Then this spell is one of those detrimental spells that can work very well synergistically with those. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.